We're going to do a Love Others pillow. So in your bag, you've got a couple of colors for squares. The colors vary. We got pink and purple on this one. The fabric has two sides. Decide which side you want out. Like I want this side in and this side out. And then lay it down. And do the same thing with the other piece of fabric. Decide which part you want out and which part you want in. And then lay them on top of each other. So that you got it like this. I think the easiest way to get this thing started is to just pick a corner and see how it's got the V there. And then you'll find this other V underneath and you match the two V's up. You want to make sure you start at a corner and get this right, otherwise the whole thing will just be all mixed up. So you take one part of the V, the two colors, and you'll tie them together. I did 2 overhand knots. And then I'll go over to the other side of the V and do it again. So I'll do purple over pink, purple over pink, and ta-da. Now I've got my corner started. Now, and you move on to the next ones in a row. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. What?
No, I will never do that.
Right. Well, that's what the Jews at the time were saying too. All the people that were following Jesus, they were like, what? You want us to do what? But they're our enemies. They don't like us. So how are we going to love them and pray for them? And Jesus is like, wait, did I stutter? No, he probably didn't say that. These are really comfortable pillows, and they can help bring comfort to people. Who do you think would be easier to give this pillow to as a gift? Somebody you really, really like, or somebody maybe you don't so much like?
Somebody I really, really like.
Yeah, it's probably a lot easier. You're like, well, yeah, of course we're going to pray for the people we like, the people we like being around, the people we're friends with, but you want us to pray for the people that don't like us? And that hurt us? And she was like, yeah, totally.
Why?
Why? Because that's really what love is about. See, and that's kind of what Jesus was saying. I think that was it's kind of the point of the passage from the Old Testament too. God was teaching us through Scripture all these generations how to love. And you should love your neighbor. And that's true. You should love your neighbor. Right? So you started with baby steps. Love your neighbor. That's an easy one, right? And then Jesus came along and he's like, yeah, so we've got that lesson down, but we're going to take it up a notch. We're going to do it a little bit better. We're going to learn a little bit more about love, because love isn't just about loving your neighbor. It's also about loving the people that you don't like a whole lot or that don't like you.
Sometimes I don't feel like loving people, but I still have to.
That's a really good point. It's easy to love people when it's easy to love them. But real love is loving people when they're not so easy to love. You're going to want to leave some of it undone. Don't finish it all off. Just enough to get a hand in. And now you can get your fluffy cloud. All right, start pulling off pieces of that. And let's push it in. Do it like in little bits so that you can get it in the corners.
I'm doing the cloud one.
Okay.
That pillow. Can we bring it home? We can give it to a homeless person.
That's a good idea.
Because a homeless person is our cousin or brother.
Mm-hmm. All right, so great. Now that you got that done, just finish knotting up the rest of the strands here. Fluff it up. So what are we going to do with this pillow? Who are we going to give it to?
How about care?
I think that's a great idea. Remember, love everyone.